Yo, Flovs! How you all doing? Sorry, excuse the background noise. The kids are awake, as you can hear.
That's the adults, not the kids. That's the adults. The kids are all quiet upstairs.
I thought that was just PJ in the background.
Oh, it's still excited from the birthday party.
But it's good to have you guys here. We've got PJ Cruikshank, Spuddy Taylor, and the Blind Spot in tonight. How you guys doing?
Doing good, Flats, doing good.
Oh, good, guys. Oh, good.
That's good. I'm glad you guys can make it. So how did you sleep your hangover, PJ?
Brilliant, brilliant. I drank some birthday cake and some Dr. Pepper and some Lucozade. So yeah,
yeah. But it's good to be here, guys. I'm just gonna say hi to everybody in chat quickly. All I can really see is Charlie Walsh was in. Thank you for coming, PJ Cruikshank, Stanley Tools, who's already gone. Thank you for being here. Paul, thank you for being here, mate. Paula, thank you for coming. Pete Rose, good to see you. JP, awesome. Glad you can make it. Coral Apple, thank you for coming. And Space Miner. Ooh, excuse me. It's good to have you all here. I'm glad you could make it. And yeah, tonight I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know the guy, but it's this guy. Who started a flat earth conspiracy theory? How many believe this, and what do they believe? Today I found out. It's got 3 million subscribers, guys. 3.8 million subscribers. So obviously he's probably got good content. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he can present. Hopefully he doesn't come up with any of these straw mans like people usually do.
Yeah, right.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jamacho Wombat, thank you for chopping it as well. It's good to see you. So I got the votes up. We got 11 votes. Is Flat Earth a conspiracy? Hell no. Do you know what it means? 64%. And yes, because I'm ignorant, 36%. So, guys, do you know what a conspiracy is?
Yes. Yes.
Conspiracy is two or more people gathering together for their own benefit.
Yeah, to conspire.
Yeah.
To yeah, exactly. It's to plot, correct? Just like it says, plot implies intrigue, to foresight, planning, complex scheme. So how is Flat Earth a scheme, guys? How's that a plot?
Yeah, how does it compare to like Guy Fawkes? That was a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Guy Fawkes was a conspiracy. You know what I mean? So how does it compare to that? It doesn't, does it?
Yeah, I mean, like when they took 9/11, that was like a conspiracy because they were conspiring against the government. You know what I mean? Against the world banks or whatever. But how's Flat Earth conspiring? What's it conspiring against? What's it plotting?
Well, the word conspiracy has been hijacked, doesn't it, to mean something else.
Exactly.
It gives you connotations of crazy people and things like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's conspiring to measure the world.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you want reality? Oxford Spirit, I haven't said hello. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. So yeah, this guy's at least got a 22-minute long video, so at least hopefully it's going to be something we can work on. Have you ever watched this guy's stuff?
No, he reminded, when I first seen him, he reminded me of someone, but it's from a British TV program. It's not him. He'd be a lot older than that now, anyway.
Okay, because Pete Rose said, "Is that Jason Blaha?" I have no idea who that is either. Sorry.
Exactly. I'm the guy from a program called The Gadget Show. I don't know what the guy's called.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, it does look similar though.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Oxbow, you missed Batman yesterday. Yeah, Spuddy looked epic in the 2001 Batman. I looked like sort of like a Catwoman hybrid.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. It was just a fun show.
The Jedi monk.
Young Padawan.
Yeah, because the tunic didn't fit underneath. I just became a monk then, didn't I?
The weather was quite good today, like 23 most of the way, so it was quite good. But now it's quite cold, and there's like a big cold front coming in, so...
It's stupid hot here.
Yeah, it's warm here lately. Well, it's our summertime, isn't it? But
Well, I'm enjoying this cold because I mean we used to like 42 to 45 degrees in the summer, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
hot.
that's what I'm thinking a little bit. And well, you're saying 23 degrees Celsius. You're
Yeah,
around,
Celsius, yeah, we Celsius.
Yeah. That's hot to me. 23 is hot.
Yeah, to me that's perfect. Between 18 and 23
Yeah,
is
I think
actually
I'm-
perfect for me.
Yeah, I think I can handle up to about 18. I can handle 23, but 18 is like my comfort zone.
Yeah, we're at like 35 here probably.
Oh yes, anytime, Space Miner. Sorry, I could have added you a while ago. There we go. It's good to have you. Giamacho should actually... You see, the problem is I can't give everybody spanners, because then I sit with the same problem I had last time.
Exactly.
And I feel so bad, because I would love to give everybody a spanner again, but...
What do you mean by subscribe? So you can subscribe to a few folk? Why does that make a difference?
I don't know. But Space Miner has been here for long, so...
Oh, yeah, no,
just
I
because
don't
you
mind.
asked nice. Just because you asked nice.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just wondered why. It makes a difference. Space Mine.
If you've got a wrench, you can click on people's names in the chat, and it takes you straight to the channel.
Right,
I didn't know
If
that.
you haven't got a wrench, you have to type it in and search for
Right,
it.
I knew that. I thought you meant it in a different way, so you can. Right, I get you now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Albrecht Azan, thank you. One of the trolls that just, you know, become part of the furniture of this channel now. He says conspiracy is not the topic, it's a straw man. The topic is conspiracy theorists who fabricate conspiracies and believe they are existent. You just contradicted your own comment there, mate. Might want to see what you're saying. It's not a straw man. He literally says, who started the flat earth conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
First of all, flat earth's not a theory, and flat earth's not a conspiracy. So there's no straw man. The only straw man here is from them, you guys calling it a conspiracy theory. Hey Jeff Gassett, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming in. Sorry about all the noise in the background. I hope it's not too loud. You guys ready to start?
Absolutely.
Let's do this. And JP, woohoo! Good to see you, mate.
Guys, today's episode was an absolute beast to make, and it is truly possible because of sponsors like Dollar Shave Club. If you want to support us, Dollar Shave Club is one of the best ways to do that, and you can do it for only $5. Now, I don't use Dollar Shave Club.
Obviously not.
Big bald.
I don't use Dollar Shave Club, but they're brilliant product. Good start, mate.
Isn't that mental? Isn't that the wrong person to get to?
But I endorse it.
How do I know it works? I don't know. I've just been told it works.
You might as well do shampoo adverts.
What a conspiracy theory.
Let's see where we can actually get to where he's not pushing products he doesn't use. DollarShaveClub.com.
Brain food. Get started today for just $5. And like I said, if you've thought about...
JP says the kid noise is awesome, but the humming? Humming? I'm not really sure what you mean with the humming. Maybe I should stick my gain down a bit. I almost read humping. I put the gain down a touch. Maybe that take the humming away. But the humming is unfortunately the generator in the background, guys. Because I'm running on the generator tonight. Because, power's off.
I hear the kids, but I don't hear the generator.
I hear the generator.
A little bit, yeah.
Whew, okay. Let's try this again. Is there a helicopter outside your window? Actually, there is a helicopter as well. Because there's a big veld fire at the moment as well. Earlier when I went to buy some electricity, there was a truck of 30 firefighters on the way there. So, yeah, there is a big fire. They're busy fighting at the on the mountain right by. So that's also what you're going to hear with the helicopter going up and down, throwing water. So, sorry if it's going to sound like a crazy pleasure tonight. It probably is because it is crazy. Okay, let's do this.
About supporting us, Dollar Shave Club is a really easy way to do that. And with that said, let's get into today's video.
Yay! TodayIFoundOut.com.
Alright, so contrary to popular belief...
That's his name, guys. Simon Whistler.
Simon Whistler.
Okay, so that's the guy's name.
Simone Whistles.
Okay. I hope he's got something of value, though. Just to be honest, I really hope so. He does sound intelligent the way he talks. Nooit my kind. Lekker slaap hoor. Okay. Netjie, Achila. Sê vir mamma die deur toe maak asseblief. Dankie. Okay, stand there, I must close the door. Okay.
A decent percentage of the human population has known definitively the Earth was roughly spherical for over 2,000 years. This is hardly impressive, as we noted in our Brain Food Show podcast, which you should also check out. Bees also use this fact in their own absurdly fascinating navigation and in communicating directions to other bees.
Wow, okay. That's quite a claim. No, people don't know that it's spherical. They're taught it's spherical. There's a difference. So that's really a wrong thing. And interesting to make a claim that bees require a sphere Earth to navigate. So far I know they use the magnetic poles, correct? I think the bees use magnetic for navigation. But why? What does that make it a globe earther if it is that? Because bees use the position of the sun to navigate, and there is evidence of their sensitivity. So it's not and sensitive to Earth's magnetic field. So I was right. So they use the sun and they use a magnetic field. How does that make it a sphere? Anybody know?
Well, if you've got circular reasoning and you beg the question, then it can be anything you want it to be.
Yeah, Flatzoid. It's real simple. It's because bees, therefore globe.
Ah, okay.
Really straightforward. Yeah.
Because shaved head, I can produce I can sponsor a product that I don't use. Okay, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Ah, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the product that's made his head bald, but it can certainly reason to say it might be. Just like the bees use the magnetic forces to navigate, and the sun, so you can circular reason it's the sphere Earth. Well, yeah, good. Speaking of sun, today was an awesome day, guys. Why was that? Because it was an impossible day for the globe.
Oh,
everybody know why?
Was it a cellular?
No. You guys know why it was an impossible day?
99% of the world could see the sun all at the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So show me on a sphere where the backside, I would say, of the sphere has sunlight the same time as the front side.
Never. It can't happen.
Yeah, it's impossible on a sphere to have so much light shining because it's a three-dimensional object. So,
Flatzoid, does that happen every year?
Every year on the 8th.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a special event that happens every year, apparently. So it's an impossible day for the globe model, yet it's here and everybody just believes it's all to be a sphere. I've even seen some globers trying to show demonstrations of how it's showing daylight on a globe, and they take a toy globe in front of a light and they try to wiggle around to try and get it right, and it's still not getting it right. Hey Nathan Wright, good to see you. Thank you for being here. So yeah, how does that work? And then I think I saw what's that Banjo guy? Banjo.
Yeah.
He took that Mercator map projection of when they show the light on the 90% of the Earth or whatever, and he placed it on a flat Earth map. And what do you know? It works perfect on the flat Earth map, but on the globe it doesn't make sense.
Could you show a demonstration of that?
I think I can find Effie Banjo. This is really interesting.
I've not really heard about this before, so the new...
Here we go.
Hello, my dear friends. July the 8th was a very interesting day. It was the day that even the Weather Channel proclaimed to be an impossible day on the globe.
Hey, if Fibercoat, good to see you. Thank you for coming. There's his link in the chat if you guys want to subscribe if you haven't already. Please do. So yeah, we're gonna watch some through of this just so we can see what it's talking about.
It was the day when the heliocentric model shot itself dead. I only found one video, and that was also made by the Weather Channel, trying to demonstrate this event on the globe. And as we can see here, the light of the sun clearly covers 60 to 70% of the globe. So we have 60 to 70% of the globe wrapped in sunlight. That's impossible on the heliocentric model.
Yep.
Sunlight cannot cover more than 50% of the globe, but
Exactly. Hey Tony Whitcomb, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. So yeah, that's the bad thing that's crazy. Even though they say things like the selenium, which is impossible, or this that's impossible on the globe, it just goes way over their heads and they just accept it. So,
Well,
oh,
this could be another claim for refraction. Possibly.
Refraction.
refraction.
Refraction in a vacuum.
Hey Dank, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Yeah. But that's all they ever have is it's either gravity, or refraction. That's all they ever have. They have never.
it.
And then you can say, okay, please demonstrate for us. Oh, scale. We're going to do it a scale.
Wouldn't it be mad if you asked them about this 90%, was it 99 or 90%?
60.
Of this?
It says 70%.
All right, to be able to
Yeah.
see it. Wouldn't it be nice if they came up with something else except gravity or refraction?
Would be great. Or how about an
Yeah.
actual demonstration?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mental.
Hey,
Didn't
the-
even need either of them two.
The Ubercaster. Hey, Travis, good to see you. Why you change your name, mate? But it's good to have you in. Dating stream. You're still looking for a dating partner, huh?
as you see on this simulation by the Weather Channel, to be possible for the sunlight to cover all those regions on Earth, it's necessary that the sunlight covers between 60 to 70% of the globe. Not being able to show, many news channels are showing the Mercator's projection because that's the only one they can show.
One more thing this half hour. There is a rare phenomenon happening right now across the globe. As of about 3 minutes ago, 7:15 Eastern Time, 99% of the entire world's
Oh, so it is 99%. Wow. I think all we can see that's not really in light, I mean, twilight's still light, by the way, guys, would be Antarctica, weird, and Australia, and some of the islands around there. That's weird. How does that work?
population is facing the sun. That means we're all experiencing some degree of sunlight at the exact same time, either full daylight or, for a lot of other folks, twilight. If you look at the map right there, just the Pacific Islands and Australia, the Australian region, are fully in the dark.
Wow. So even Australia, I mean, even Antarctica's in twilight here, guys. How's that work?
Yeah, I wonder how that works. Interesting.
Refraction of gravity, something like that.
But one thing that they don't realize is look at how much is in light. I mean, that's like definitely impossible.
Wow.
99% of the world.
And California, poor California.
Yes.
You know what though? What a cool phenomenon.
Cool phenomenon.
This poor guy, he tried to demonstrate on the globe how that could be possible, but he failed miserably. So he had to go to his computer and demonstrate on the Mercator's projection.
On July 8th of every year at 11:15 Universal Time, that translates to about 7:15 Eastern Time, 99% of the world's population, just over 99% of the world's population, is actually in sunlight.
Wow. Brilliant. Hey, Paula, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Does he understand what he just said? 99%. One day, every single
12
year.
years old.
He does sound like he's 12 years old. Jeff Gass said, good to see you. He says, Lyman Dan is quiet. Yeah, but why would Lyman Dan say anything? After his embarrassing video that he says he's debunked the fake space argument. Really? He had brought absolutely bugger all.
I know. I think Level Up for Zeb had done another one towards it. I don't know. I think I've seen one, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hey Rachie, good to see you. Yeah, exactly. What causes that phenomena? I wonder. Do any globers here have a reason for that phenomena that you said is able to be seen that's impossible on the globe?
Hours later.
The reason is actually kind of interesting once we kind of delve into this a bit.
7 hours later.
So, I mean, if you look at the Pacific Ocean, this just kind of gives you a rough idea. Imagine if the sun was lighting up this section of the Earth. Do you see that there'd be a very small amount of Earth's population? Right. But over here, when you get Asia, Africa, maybe some of North America and some South America, you can see that you have a much larger percentage of the Earth's population that could be in sunlight.
Yeah, but also note that where's the direction of the sun? Where's your sun located? The Earth is tilted, remember? At 23.5 degrees. Correct?
Yeah.
Does it ever change that tilt? Does it change
Well, it
that?
does wobble sometimes.
Yeah,
So much that it totally disregards the...
No, I think it's only a wobble of 12 meters.
Exactly. But let's hope he'll be able to bring it for us.
1 eternity later.
Let me reference this tweet. It's actually kind of cool. And if we take a look, they actually put a map with it that helps explain this just a little bit. So if I zoom in just a tad.
So in other words, he wasn't able to demonstrate on his globe ball, but he's now taking a tweet that shows him the Mercator map.
Yeah, that's it.
Without realizing it, he just debunked his globe.
Yeah.
Well done.
They always do that, though, don't they? They always do it.
Trying to sound smart with his little bow tie. And just showing... I can't demonstrate it on the globe for you, but I'm going to quickly just show you a tweet where it totally demolishes it.
And what you can see is that each July 8th at 11:15 UTC, Universal Time, that's Greenwich Mean Time if you're kind of curious, right through Greenwich, England.
No shit, Sherlock.
So it is impossible for the sunlight to wrap around the globe between 60 to 70%. So there is no other day like July 8th to demonstrate how wrong the heliocentric model is. And to better understand, all we have to do is to convert the Mercator projection into the flat Earth map and see how it makes more sense on the flat Earth map.
See, there we go. This to me makes more sense, correct? Hey, Yannick, doesn't get good to see you. Andrew Johnson, thank you for coming in. Glad you can take it. They're mistaking twilight areas for being able to see the sun. Twilight has still got light, Andrew. That's the whole point. I'm glad you agree with us. Twilight isn't sunlight. So in other words, the sun's not giving the light, like we've been saying this whole time. It just governs the daytime. Difference between sunlight and daylight. Remember, Andrew?
Absolutely.
With a small sun, a small local sun, you can see here.
By the way, Andrew, when you say that, you are actually going against your globe model. Hey, Space Miner, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. It says, Flats is the man. No, you the man. Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate all the support. But yeah, think about this. Andrew, how are you demonstrating how to be debunking your model again? Easy. Because your model claims all the light, yes, even the twilight, is the light coming from the sun. So therefore, every part of twilight is still sunlight. You realize that. So when you're saying it's not, you are going against what your globe teaches you.
How it illuminates those regions on Earth, leaving the majority of Earth in the dark. Only on the flat Earth model, even this map by Weather Channel, I converted into a flat Earth map, and you can see here it's better explained with a small and local sun circulating.
Rachie, no, I'm the man. Wait. Well, Rachie, you definitely ace. Definitely. If you guys haven't already, please do subscribe to Rachie's channel as well. She really does awesome stuff.
Over the flat Earth, we can see how this is possible. for a day like July the 8th. If you still believe in the heliocentric model, yesterday was the day for you to drop that model and realize we don't live on a spinning ball spinning around the universe.
Exactly.
So this is just a short video. The earth is flat.
Amen.
Keep it flat, guys.
Thank you, Banjo. Yeah, guys, do subscribe to him. So yeah. So what have we got so far? Today debunked the globe. Again. Again.
There's not many people defending coming up with reasons for today, is there?
No,
Otherwise,
they're just keeping quiet about it. They're like running away from it like it's a sore thumb. Hey Perry, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. So yeah, I'm glad he brought up the sun for us. Hey Richard G, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, please hit the likes, share the show. Let's carry on.
As for humans, we took a little longer to realize this with
Andrew says, I didn't say the sunlight isn't from the sun. You misrepresented me. Okay, let's read what you said again. Where's Andrew Johnson's message? Is it so high up? No. We said they're mistaking twilight areas for being able to see the sun. How's that misrepresenting what you said? You're clearly saying that twilight has got nothing to do with the sun, is it? No one's saying seeing the sun, Andrew, so you are straw-manning what was said. So either you straw-manning or you mean what we're saying.
In Andrew's worldview, all the rays from the sun are parallel, right? And so I imagine geometry or physics would dictate that they can't reach more than 50% when facing the Earth. Unless, of course,
refracted.
Hang on. It could be that the rays are accelerating negatively towards the Earth such that they're wrapping around in a layer of bullshittery. That could be the case.
Yeah, it's negatively accelerating backwards to go up around a curve that's not actually there because they believe that it's there. Yeah. Even if you put refraction into the mix for them, do you think it's going to give them an extra 49% of light? That's crazy. I would think maybe maximum 5%, and that's like extreme. Hey Stephanie Campbell, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Effie Banjo rocks. And Andy Sibley, thank you for being here. Good to see you. So let's go on.
Pythagoras from the 6th century BC, generally credited with being the first known person to have suggested a spherical Earth, though the idea didn't exactly catch on at that point.
I wonder why.
Aristotle, 4th century BC, agreed and supported the hypothesis with observations such as that the southern constellations rise higher in the sky when a person travels south.
That means you're getting closer. You know what he just said, guys? And by the way, it's not a hypothesis. That's just a belief. So it's not scientific. There's no hypothesis. This is what he's claiming. He agreed with him because... How am I going to draw this? I don't even think...
He's hijacking perspective again, right?
Exactly. That's exactly it. I mean, what happens when you go closer to something? The angular size changes, correct? So let's say this star is here. And you're a numpty... Globy standing here and you seeing the star there, okay? Blah de blah, and to the ground. Now, as this star is having its path and it's appearing to go like this towards you, what happens if you're going to go closer? Let's make it orange now just for shits and giggles. We'll make it a bit closer. There we go. Look at the angle difference. Okay? Do you see? Does it look like it's going to rise the same as it rises there? No. Because the angle's different. You have a different angle. I don't know how to explain it, but closer you go, the easier it is to see something. Just like if you go... I wonder if we can find this on YouTube. Walking closer to light poles. But it's good to see everybody here. I got 33 people in. Please, let's take that away, guys. Make it 34.
I've got 34. It says 34 me.
I wonder if they can show someone walking close to light poles. Okay, well,
driving down the road.
Yeah, just drive down the road. When you go, the light poles are seeming to rise quicker to you the closer you get to them because of parallax. That's the same. Doesn't make it a sphere, it just means it's closer. Your field of view has become closer. Okay.
He also noted that during a lunar eclipse, the Earth's shadow is round. Much more.
The lunar eclipse, the shadow is round. So, you can have round shadows with a straight plate if you want to. Who made a shadow anyway, guys? Who says it's a shadow? Oh wait, I know. It's them saying it's a shadow. It's them just.
Oh, of course. I thought it was rhetorical. I didn't know you were asking it.
Because that's what they do. They just beg the question and affirm the consequent. That's about it. That's how the globe is based on, guys. Yes, that's the link to join, Raichi. Let me pin it. Thank you very much. There we go. You'll know what to do if you want to talk. But I'm happy to have you guys in.
Definitively, the 3rd century BC head librarian of the Library of Alexandria, Eratosthenes, built on their ideas and managed to calculate the circumference of the Earth with remarkable accuracy.
Calculate. Note, guys, he said calculate the circumference, not measure it. Guys in Ellemnet, what's the difference between measurement and calculation?
Well, isn't measurement where you actually go out and, you create the numbers you put together, yourself, you make them yourself or whatever, see from yourself, and the other one is just adding numbers you get from wherever together?
Exactly.
Well, let's put it...
with the object, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to do that to measurement, a calculation. You could do at home and calculate the circumference.
Exactly. Thank you very much,
Well,
Tony.
it's like...
Sorry, I just want to quickly give Tony Whitcomb a shout out. Thank you very much for your £20 super chat, Tony Whitcomb. Really appreciate it, mate. You rock. He says, if it's more than 50% on a globe, then it's inevitably 100% flat, because that's how it's observed by all. Exactly, Tony. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate the support. That's so true. Because the globe, if you take a sphere, it's always going to be 50% in the sunlight. Okay? Even if you give yourself extreme refraction, you're going to maybe have 5% more, if you're lucky. Not a whole 49% extra. That's insane. But thank you very much for the super chat, Tony. Really appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, blind spot.
No, go ahead. Keep on with the video.
But yeah, it's simple. Let's do it in simple terms so globies understand. You see, you take a ruler, you measure something with it, correct?
Yeah.
Now, if you don't take a ruler and you go and calculate what you think the measurement would not be measuring, it's you calculating. So you can say, I calculated that line to be 30 centimeters, and you say, I calculated, so therefore it is 30 centimeters measured, is false. You would only know it's 30 centimeters unless you actually physically measured it. So there's a difference between measure and calculate. Calculations can be wrong, even though it shows right in your mathematic bullshittery belief. Hey Nathan Oakley, thank you for coming. Good to see you, mate. Glad you could make it. Okay.
How? Well, he simply used the knowledge that at noon on the summer solstice there was a well in Syene where the sun shone directly down to the bottom.
Shone directly down to the bottom. What if someone believed it was a donut Earth and this happened? Would that make a donut Earth?
I thought it was sticks. Now it's wells. Make up your mind.
That's the thing. They can't make up their mind.
This is a conspiracy theory.
But you see, that's the problem they have. There's no documentation that Aristotle even existed.
Yeah.
So it was all hearsay. I think it was 300 years after he died, apparently, that all of a sudden, no, did you hear about this guy? He calculated the Earth's circumference using sticks and shadows and wells and sundials. No one can make up their mind what it is. Yeah,
I was only working on flat Earth.
looks
We
crazy.
forget to mention the assumptions that they make in the first instance. With the parallel sun rays, assuming it's round in the first instance.
Yes, because parallel sun rays. You guys saw the short I had on my intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan, I'm glad you're enjoying the sound. I think it's improving.
It's definitely a lot better than it used to be, that's for sure.
Yep. Check it this.
Well, while Nathan's here,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Well, while Nathan's here, in regard to Aristophanes, he did an episode of FED. I can't remember the number. It was a little while back, but it is probably my favorite episode of the show so far. Just the complete logical fallacies, right? Just ad infinitum that was utilized. I think it was someone else reviewing the story, I suppose, just like this guy. But it was just an amazing execution of that.
Definitely. Yeah, Nathan's very good at what he does. Nathan is ace. Hey, One Mind Spirit, good to see you. And Between the Soul and I, good to see you too. Okay, this was a short I brought out a few weeks ago. Actually about this whole subject.
Problem Eratosthenes did what physicists often do when they're tackling a really difficult problem. He made an assumption. And now the assumption that he made was that the sun was so far away, way off the screen, that when the sun's rays arrive at the Earth, they're coming more or less parallel, no matter where in the Earth you are.
Does that look parallel to you?
He made an assumption. And now the assumption that he made was that the sun was so far away, way off the screen, that when the sun's rays arrive at the Earth, they're coming more or less parallel.
Yeah, that looks very parallel.
That's the voice all those, all Globers should use that voice in the videos, It makes sense. The devilish voice.
Exactly. This is that SM58, Shure SM58 mic, Nathan. I've just set it up to how I think I can get it quite good. It picks up nice and well, and I don't have to be too close with how I got the settings, so I'm happy about that. Hey, Cygnus Step, good to see you too. Jibby, thank you for coming. Richard G, yeah. And Marizan, hey Liffie, baie bly jy kon dit maak. Ek's baie Liffio. Altyd goed om jou hier te sien. Always great to see my wife in. How can I not say hello to such an awesome wife? Okay.
Hello, Mrs. Flats.
Mrs. Flats.
Hello, Marizan. I used to say Mrs. Flats, but I know how to say it now. It's just how it's spelled.
Well, is it Mrs. Flats or Mrs. Zoid?
But yeah, you see, I see they're still talking about the twilight thing. Yeah, if you're claiming the population, 99% of the population can see sunlight at the same time, that would mean the Earth is covered in sunlight, which is impossible on your globe. It's not a straw man, that's just what you claim. And today totally demolished the globe claim that it's a globe, because it would be impossible. They just said it's a brilliant phenomena. What explains that phenomena?
With no shadow.
We now have an impossible eclipse and an impossible day.
Exactly. And impossible refraction when we look, when we hence the black swan.
Exactly. And most things are impossible with the globe, so it's not much of a task for them to take on some impossible stuff and give us some impossible answers, is it?
Nah. Well, it's getting so ridiculous. People are asking us to go get buckets filled with gas and see why it's not staying in.
The Auschwitz said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a SM58. Really awesome. I actually got it because, like I said, I want to start doing music production stuff, so just saving up for my wife's keyboard, then we can start doing that. I have still written lyrics for 2 more rap songs. Just haven't got by to recording them yet. Just been too busy, but I will get there. I will promise you. And yeah, my book is just going slow at the moment, but I am still working on it, guys.
Nice.
Okay.
Just noticed you got my Eurobath on your top.
Yeah. Brooklyn.
You're gonna need to write a parody of the Rolling Stones' "Satisfaction," except make it their "Refraction."
Yeah.
Thus, at noon on summer solstice, he used a rod to measure the angle of the shadow made in Alexandria and found it to be about 7 degrees, or about 1/50th of a circle. With this information, he now just needed to know the exact distance between Syene and Alexandria to get the circumference of the Earth, about 50 times the distance between Syene and Alexandria.
And then he hired someone to walk for a month and count his steps. Yeah, we get it. So,
Very accurate.
yeah. I want someone to walk for a day and tell me how much steps they counted.
Yeah, exactly.
Try that for a month.
Without an iPhone.
Yeah, try getting past 10 without being bored.
It's like walking, and it's like 3,500 and so, hey, Alan, how you doing? Oh no, shit, what number was it on? So it's let me go start again. You know, it's like crazy.
Or you could be taking one step, putting a bead across on his abacus, taking next step, another bead on the abacus.
You know, walking in a straight line or as the crow flies is actually very difficult to do.
Of course it
Tend
is.
to get a lot of things in your way.
Yeah, one leg short on the other, so you go round in circles.
I know, Nathan, they are a bit softer, but I did make them louder last. They have been sounding a bit soft tonight for some odd reason. I'm going to see if I can maybe get them a bit louder. Audio. You guys can talk a bit louder. Let's see if I can get you louder.
Hello. Good evening.
That was the whole reason I joined Ellemnet in the first place, was because I couldn't hear.
No, because I did set it
What he had to
louder.
say.
I did set it louder last time. Okay, now it should be better. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Check, check,
Hello,
mic check.
hello, mic check.
Yeah, because now you set to 200%, guys. So
It was that blind spot that said that you couldn't see me, you couldn't hear me before.
Yeah, but I couldn't hear Adam. Adam Meekin was on too. I couldn't hear him either. So it wasn't just you, PJ.
Before I had the PC though, I was using my phone and my tablet, and it used to be whinged that they could only hear me, and that was coming from a phone. I couldn't do any levels or anything like that, could I? But from a phone, apparently I was the loudest, louder than even Flats. So for months, my voice was really loud. But I think it was a bit distorted.
Yeah.
If you go back to the videos, it's well distorted.
well, now to me you sound quite good though. But I've set you guys to 200% in OBS, so it should be much better. Okay. So yeah, let's do this again. Recap. Eratosthenes, there's no documentation ever existed. The so-called story about him came 300 years after he so-called existed. All his so-called work burnt down in a library in Alexandria that nobody knows about. No one can decide if it's sticks and shadows or wells or sundials, and they make assumptions like parallel sun rays when we can just go outside and see there's divergent sun rays. So which one are we rather going to take? The actual observation that goes against what they say, or stories from folklore that doesn't even realize there's no documentation for the guy of existing, with a whole bunch of narratives that keep changing?
Or we could use Al-Biruni, right, who used an elevation angle with a flat baseline to measure the height of a mountain, and then measured 700 miles to the sea from... Never mind, that's a bad idea. Carry on.
And did he use refraction? Oh wait, he didn't even know if refraction was a thing then.
Refraction!
Weird. So how did he get the tangent again?
Exactly.
He hired a survey crew known as Bemetists to measure the distance, which they found to be about 5,000 stadia. He then concluded that the Earth must be about 250,000 stadia around, depending on which stadion measurement he was.
Note FTFE. You see that grid system? Yeah. Your globe, what it's based on? The grid system? No grid, no globe.
Using his figure was either
Greg,
1%.
no globe.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all they're based on. They always have to beg the question, then affirm the consequent, and then they just keep working off of that affirmation. So therefore it's globe. So it doesn't matter what they do, they're going to say it's true. I mean, you can go and say the Earth is a unicorn, okay? Now, if you create math to suit that unicorn, you're always going to affirm that it's a unicorn because you've already affirmed the math in the unicorn paradigm. But does that make it a unicorn? No.
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope. And if it was a unicorn, the horn would be the North Pole. But I still wanna see the calculations on how that works.
But you understand, they're making the math derived on an assumption or something, and because the math agrees with their assumption, therefore they're just saying it makes that assumption true.
We'll make our own math and do the same shit and have a big discussion on fake math versus fake math with some Globus someday. Come on, let's do this.
I see the votes have climbed up a bit as well. We've got 43 votes, guys. Is Flat Earth a conspiracy? Hell no. Do you know what it means? 86%. And yes, because I'm ignorant, 14%. Glad to see some people are conceding they're ignorant. Nathan actually says it makes it a dodo.
Sent to.
Oh, thank you, Faciality, for coming in. It's good to see you, mate. Thank you for a $2 super chat. Appreciate it. It says spherical water is an oxymoron. Water seeks its own level. Exactly. Water at rest seeks level. And what's synonyms for level, guys? Flat, horizontal, plane.
Yeah.
Richard G, but Flatzoid, there's a unicorn emoji. Yeah, thank you
It
again.
does exist.
It has to. How else would we have this emoji? YouTube, thank you for coming, mate. Good to see you. But thank you, Faciality, for your super chat. Really appreciate it.
Too small or 16% too large. Many scholars think it likely he was using the Egyptian stadion, 157.5 meters, being in Egypt at the time, which would make his estimate roughly 1% too small. Alright, so moving on to the so-called Dark Ages, in which
Wow, okay. And what did he actually present? Just, let's say a guy that existed that we don't have documentation for, he calculated the Earth's circumference, so therefore it's a globe. Well done. In the beginning,
Based on the length of your arm or footsteps, that he was only 1% off of, and walking 500 miles along the Nile River in the middle of the desert. No,
for months.
come on, dude.
For months.
You're not this ignorant.
And the information is between him and another dude. So how did the information get to us?
Well,
so I don't believe he was a person.
Well, can I throw a spanner in the works as well? PJ,
Sorry, Flats, no, you can't.
PJ, let's say both of us do the same job. We do this walking and counting thing. I got a size 7 shoe. I'm sure you got like size 10 or something.
I am a size 10. Exactly right.
Exactly. Okay. Now, I'm going to be doing roughly 1.5 feet for every 1 foot of yours. Understand?
Yeah.
Will our distances...
Lesser brother?
Yeah, will our distances vary with steps?
Absolutely. My steps should be longer than yours. Yours should be slightly.
So my distance will be more than your distance then? Because I'm taking more steps.
More steps, yeah.
So how did they get this method right then? If he says that...
Yeah. Everybody in the world has got to have the same size feet. And the same length. Right?
Exactly. Faciality for another $2 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, still waiting to see balls of water in nature. Yeah, there's no such thing as a ball of water. Although they love saying water droplet, they're not understanding water droplet is not a ball of water. It's simply water tension. It's having surface tension, a little droplet. And it's just a false equivalence.
It's not even a ball, it's elongated. It's rounded at the bottom and it's elongated at
it's not a perfect sphere, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, even a raindrop, it's not a sphere. So you don't get perfect balls of water. Exactly. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Christianity supposedly squashed such outlandish ideas as a spherical Earth, the truth is exactly the opposite. In Christian medieval Europe, 7th century Catholic monk and scholar...
Okay, again, Catholics are the ones pushing the sphere. They're not Christians. I don't know how much more we can make this out to them. Just because they claim to be in the same line as Jesus... The problem with the difference between Catholics and Christians is Catholics have what we call idol worship. I think, Blindspot, you said you were brought up Catholic, correct?
I am Catholic.
I'm Catholic. How so you pray to a priest, correct? What you call father.
I have never prayed to a priest. No, that is incorrect.
Would you have different type of Catholics?
There are many different types of Catholics, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the Catholics he's talking about, you would say it's not the Catholic you subscribe to, where you go
Well, I'm a traditionalist, a Latin Mass going Catholic, so definitely more retrograde, if you will.
Yeah.
Definitely not a liberalist, modernist Catholic. Definitely not, the modern day LGBT Jesuits and what's going on there. So, there's definitely a lot of different camps within Catholicism.
Exactly. So you know which one I'm talking about when I'm saying not Christian.
Yeah. However, I do consider myself a Christian Flatzoid. So.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying when I say Catholic, which when these guys are talking about Catholic, they're talking about the hardcore.
It's a stereotype fallacy.
Roman
That's what it
Catholics,
is. At the end of the day, it's a stereotype fallacy. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just like when they say flat earthers and they're all conspiracy theorists, right? It's the same rhetoric.
But isn't Catholicism isn't Catholicism or whatever you call it? Isn't it made? Wasn't it seriously made by the evil? Made by
the
evil
Jesuits
branch of fake. It's like a fake spin of Christianity.
I mean, we can have that debate at a separate time. Catholicism was not started by the Jesuits. Ignatius was we're talking the 16th century, whereas Catholics would argue and point to a line back to apostolic succession to the early church fathers and the original apostles. So it just depends on, again, it's a deep subject. I don't want to derail.
Yeah, no, that will have a whole nother debate on that alone.
Yeah, we should do that sometime.
But I think it's an interesting subject because, like I said, that's usually what they do is they push this fake, let's not say fake Catholicism, into Christianity, and then say, you see, the Christians were actually pushing a sphere Earth.
For sure. They're making false equivalents as well as stereotype fallacies. And obviously, look, there's a lot of things, let's say, about Pope Francis that I vehemently disagree with. But it's important. I guess the best way to put it is what G.K. Chesterton said, which is everyone hates what they think the Catholic Church is. Very few people hate what it actually is. And I think there's just a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions about what true Catholicism is versus what's bantied about.
Because even when I was
just pick out those popes, though, those sickly evil popes, man, you can see it in their faces.
Because even when I was young, I had two friends, and they were both Catholic. The one was really in a religious Catholic church. We go, you kneel in front of the pew, you pray, take your penance and everything with your rosemary and everything. And the other one was more, I would say, Christian-like, where you go to church and everything, but you don't go preach and pray to a father to renounce your sins.
It's no different.
And,
it's no different in Protestantism, right? If we just broadly categorize every, let's say, non-Catholic post-Martin Luther as a Protestant, there's many who are evil, many who are crazy, many who are misguided. You did a whole series on Steve Anderson, right, and his thoughts, right? And so it's a stereotype fallacy. Period. That's what it is. You cannot stereotype entire groups of people like that and just say whatever, right? So
yeah. But I appreciate you being here, mate.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Awesome. I love it.
Okay, let's carry on.
Bede produced an influential treatise that included a discussion of the spherical nature of the world. This work, The Reckoning of Time, was copied and distributed to clerics across the Carolingian Empire.
Clerics, clerics. Keyword there. What's a cleric? Not a Christian. Not at all. Okay, this is interesting.
Later in the 1300s, Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy also describes the Earth as a sphere, and again, nobody seemed to have a problem with this.
Hang on. Dante was a poet. So if you're using poetry as your fact buddy, get a clue. Like, it was a poem.
And this was a comic, a poem of comedy, sorry. Yeah, this was even worse.
Satire, yeah.
That just shows you how well researched this gentleman is.
Very well researched. Well, maybe I should also have a British accent. I'll sound intelligent as well. You see, all you have to do is you have to look at this history and know I calculated it, so therefore it makes it a sphere. Do I sound intelligent
funny
to you?
thing is, man,
You're not British?
When you listen to Greg and stuff, you know, when you listen to Greg and other British people who come in with that smart ass attitude, and I'm not against the accent or anything, but the way, you know, in those situations you can only hate it, you know, when they're dumb as fucking smart ass, you know, with the British accent, you know, it just doesn't work when you're trying to be a smart ass, you know, you really have to be one first.
Well, that's right. Aye. I'm Scottish.
I'll take that on board.
Hey, it's good to have you here.
I've always just said I'm Scottish. I've never classed myself as British. Not that I don't class myself as British. I've just never used that terminology. I'm Scottish as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't too.
Well, PJ, I think you got a lot more intelligence than this guy.
Aye, definitely.
Who seriously thinks Greg sounds intelligent? And I'm not sorry, Greg, if you're listening, because I can't stand your voice.
But he hasn't got the typical Queen's English accent. You know what I mean? He's like I don't know where's he from. I'm actually thinking about it. I mean, I know he lives in Scotland, but he's got like a Stoke kind of accent, I think.
Yeah, he moved to Scotland.
Yeah, he moved to Scotland.
Travis saying he's having a problem getting onto Ellemnet, onto the panel. If you click that link, you should be able to get to the browser, and then it should. Then you
Put
just
the link in again.
Yeah,
In case it's wrong.
it's already got it. It's up there. If you just click the link,
yeah.
you should because you don't need the app though. Only if you're on your phone, which sucks. It's much better on using the browser on the computer. But that's also an interesting question. Jamacho Wombat says, Catholic Church adopted purgatory from the poet. Interesting.
Well, I think Dante's poetry is fantastic. I love his Divine Comedy. I think it's a great allegory. But to use that in what this guy is, you know, citing as scientific, right, evidence or whatever, it just seems it's insanity.
Exactly. It's clutching for straws. That's actually just what he's doing.
And maybe he's not claiming it's science, but even the fact that you slip it in is just so disingenuous, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Charlie Walsh, we're not character attacking. We're just having fun. It's called joking around.
The Catholics and
like Charlie doesn't do that. Come on.
Yeah.
You're always Arwen.
Waving Malmstrom.
It's our thing around here, you know.
I mean, we're allowed to have
messing
fun.
around.
Yeah, we're allowed to have fun.
My mic check.
Hey, Travis is in. I think it's Travis.
Hello.
Hey, where's the beard, man? Where's your beard?
It's gone.
Looking good. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. Yeah.
I'm
glad
glad
I could finally make it in. I was just clicking shit trying to figure out how to get in here. Finally, I wound up inside. So.
Oh, that's good to have you, mate.
Yeah.
So you keeping busy?
Yeah, I've been doing Uber, and I started a new podcast, which is why I changed my channel name to the Ubercast. And I'm doing live recordings of my Uber rides, having amazing conversations with the riders, and it's been really good.
Oh,
that's a good idea.
And I'm sure you get some.
It's actually a fantastic idea because no one else is doing it.
Yeah, it's actually new.
Right.
Can you maybe stick your link and then we can give it to everybody?
Yeah,
That'd be
sure.
great. But yeah, I'm sure you get some weird characters doing Uber.
I don't go when the freaks are out. I start around 6 a.m. and I try to be done by 2 p.m. So.
Okay, so at least you're not getting all the drunk party
No,
animals.
I don't need to mess with that.
Yeah, that's a decent shift. That is 6 to 2, right?
Yeah. And sometimes I can be done before then. So it says I don't have permission to post in the room.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you have to get a. I'm gonna give you a spanner. Then you can post. Where are you? Quickly, just make a comment, and I can.
You want me to make a comment?
Yeah.
So one day I was walking down the street. Was that enough?
Yeah. Just say hi.
Hello.
In the YouTube chat.
In the YouTube chat. Nothing making me look like a dope. How many times can we make him talk out loud when we want him to chat?
I thought you were joking.
Yeah.
So, okay, here we go.
That is a really neat idea, though. Because I'm legally blind, I take a lot of Ubers, and so I'd often thought, because similarly, Travis, I always chat up my drivers, and I thought, man, I should write a book about all the stories I hear from the drivers. So you're taking the opposite approach, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, I just finished editing a 5-minute teaser for the channel content that I'm creating, and I'll share that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you can come up with some awesome discussions for the people that. And
before I started recording my conversations, I had this one guy who was a programmer, and so we were talking, and I can't remember how we got onto Flat Earth, but I was trying to figure out how to get it onto Flat Earth, and finally we got there. And I said, "How would you render a flat Earth in a program?" And he just sat there and he's like, "That's a really good question." And he was sitting there thinking about it. It was an amazing conversation. It was not recorded. And that was one of the times when I was thinking, man, I should be recording these conversations. And then I just started doing it. I just started recording them because I knew I was missing so much great content. And we don't, it's just great. It's fantastic. So,
yeah, well, the geometry they use for the games in the program are flat anyway.
Well, that's where I wanted him to be able to start thinking about it. He's like, well, that's how we render it. We just render it flat. So that's kind of weird. Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready to go on?
All right.
But yeah, if you can, just stick your link there, and then if you guys can, please subscribe to him. Woohoo! The Uber Castle.
No, the Uber cast.
Cast? Oh yeah, it looks like cast from a
it's
cast.
It's the superest cast in all the plane.
Awesome. Let's quickly go look for them. Subscribed. I'm gonna just press like. There we go. So if you haven't already, do subscribe.
Let me do a shout out real quick to you, Flatzoid. So just in case your subscriber base and your followers don't know really how to support you the best way they can, there's 4 ways that your subscribers can support you every single time. When you post either live or upload, the minute they watch, they're supporting your content. The very next thing they need to do every single time is like the video, no matter what, because they know you're going to put out good content.
Exactly.
2 things. Boom, boom. Okay. The third thing is to make a comment either live or afterwards. And then the 4th thing is to share. Those 4 algorithmic readings are going to push your channel out to a broader listening audience.
Yeah.
And that's the way we need to support every single channel that we watch. Every single time that happens, today I did it 2 or 3 times. A channel comes up that I watch, I click it to watch, I like it, I make a comment, and then I share it on my community post. That's how I
definitely well worth it. Yeah, so it pushes out further, because if YouTube algorithm picks up, hey, people are watching this, and they're going to start pushing it out.
Exactly. The more comments you make, the more likes there are. We got to pay attention to this channel. This channel's making some headway.
Exactly. But yeah, thanks again for the shout out, mate.
Always.
You guys ready to go on with the video?
Do it, man.
Other branches of Christianity weren't the only religious sects that seemed to have its clergy and scholars almost universally think that the world was spherical. The Islamic world also concurred, as historian Jeffrey Burton Russell sums up. With extraordinarily few exceptions, no educated person in the history of Western civilization from the 3rd century BC onward believed that the Earth was flat.
Oh, okay. Then why is everybody today?
Hang on, that's demonstrably false.
Exactly.
St. John Chrysostom was one of the early Eastern church fathers, and he's cited. You can look at his writings, and he claims a stationary flat Earth. So, it's just it's just bullshit. It's just a lie.
Yeah, not only that, but I'd have to search for it. I took a screenshot of it, so it's in my files somewhere. Martin Luther, right, the father of the Reformation, so to speak. Wrote a response in one of his commentaries to Copernicus. He responded. He said that Copernicus overstepped his bounds by suggesting that the Earth was something that other than it was, and Martin Luther's position was that it was not a globe. So you don't have this uniform, monolithic perspective.
Exactly. Thank you, Rob Keane. Good to see you, mate. Been a member for 8 months. Woohoo! Travis is fantastic.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, Rob is awesome. It's good to see you, mate.
I think my 8 months is coming up in about a week or so. It's close to it.
Awesome. But
I mean, it's getting on now, isn't it? It's crazy how long people have been here.
But I mean, are they claiming everybody that says it's flat as just not educated, which is false? And by the way, also lied about the Muslims. Their Quran teaches 7 earths and 7 heavens, and they're all flat, stacked on one top of each other. So he obviously lied there as well. So it seems he's making shit up.
That's
Beyond
the
the
MSU.
was
That's the MSU, the MS University. MSU
Make shit up, yeah.
University.
Make shit up.
Well,
University.
Chris's done was circa 347 AD, and an educated man. He had, he wrote, and back in those days, if you had the means to get an education to write, just by default, you're educated,
Exactly.
right? So, yeah, it's a bald assertion. It's a complete lie.
Well,
He
how
just
about
makes it
even-
up.
I mean,
just
even-
like Dante's poem is proof of a globe.
But I mean, even Samuel Rowbotham, that they love to cite so much, he was educated, was he not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's another good
Weird.
one.
You just forgot about him.
Academics of the Western world, even the most empty-headed sailor, knew the Earth was spherical, simply.
False. What about the Persians? No, sorry. What did we say? What was the other night? The Phoenicians. They were.
Yeah, but notice the way he's not even arguing logically. Empty-headed sailor.
Empty-headed sailor.
Right?
Saying
Even
they're dumb.
even a kindergartner would know.
Uh-huh.
It's just ad homs.
But I mean, look at the Phoenicians. They were one of the best sea navigators in historical times, and that was when everybody still believed it was flat. They used nautical navigation. They didn't believe it to be spherical. They were flat earthers. Weird.
by the fact that ships disappear over the horizon with the bottom first and then the mast the last to be sighted. A similar effect is observed when spotting land from a ship. It really doesn't take a rocket surgeon to realize that the sea's surface must curve continually.
No.
What's a rocket surgeon?
But
does he mean
someone employed by NASA?
A brain scientist?
Yeah.
Oh, he means a rocket scientist and a brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon, yeah. But I mean, all this guy is doing is showing how dumb he is, and he's making a classical assertion of having consensus for everybody that just believes it's a sphere, so therefore they are the intelligent ones. No. If we see things go bottom up, we can demonstrate this on flat surfaces, which shows it's optical. That doesn't mean it's a sphere. That just means you're a moron and you don't understand there's phenomena that can be explained other than your belief. He just has a bias, that's all. So therefore anybody that goes against his bias is just wrong. So in other words, he's a bigot. Correct? Am I reading that right?
No, absolutely. In his last few sentences, you can infer him to say that if you believe in the flat earth, you're an idiot. That you can summarize his last few sentences that way, right? In other words, you're an empty-headed sailor if you dare even posit this concept.
Yeah. Weird. By the way, you said you're legally blind. I didn't realize that. I just thought it was just the name you gave.
No, that's why I got even a little blind, dude.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Come on.
I was wondering. I was like, so are you born blind or?
Yeah, technically it's genetic. It's called Stargardt's disease. I have no central vision. I only have peripheral vision. Yeah.
I'd find that scary, to be honest.
You know, I was diagnosed when I was 13, right? And that's when they told me I'd never drive a car. But, you know, once you kind of live with it, right? It's just who you are. It's not like I even know any different. You know what I mean? It just is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you have heightened senses in other areas? Are you able to take advantage?
Well, I do, but my wife disagrees. So it just depends on who you ask. Yeah. She says I have selective hearing and selective seeing. So.
Yeah, but then all you got to do is come back with the fact that she's the most beautiful woman you've ever seen.
I tell her that all the time. Absolutely.
Moomin Rider, thank you. He's just giving me a belated birthday message. Thank you, man.
Yeah, Moomin Rider's ace. Hey,
Yeah,
Steve,
cool.
good. Thank you for coming. And TY Smokes, good to see you too. And anybody else that just came in, sorry if I didn't say hi yet. It's good to see you guys. Please hit the likes and share the show. It does help to get out to a wider audience.
Let's just say hi to everyone.
Yeah, just hi everyone. You rock.
Everyone, hello. Everyone except Andrew Johnson. Hello. I'm just joking, Andrew. I still love your crazy ideas.
Yeah, we just like picking on you.
It really still is a tiny percentage of the world's population who believe that the world is flat. You might at this point be wondering just how many. While internet comment threads make it seem as if the percentage is large, the reality is probably drastically less. I mean, comment trolls are going to troll. Look below for examples. As for some...
Wow. I don't know how much more I can say how wrong that is.
Well, obviously, Flatzoid, you need to just chill out on the commenting because you're making it seem like there's more of us.
Has anybody checked my comment sections on my videos? I mean, like,
I think Andrew had 100.
I'm usually part of them. Well, not in the past few years. Yeah, exactly.
I get about 1,000 plus comments on a video, and they mostly just globe trolls.
Yeah, that's why I stopped going in there, because I was getting into arguments with everyone.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
matter.
not everyone.
Yeah, you practically just waste your time with these guys.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, what? What the hell? Does he ignore that? I think there was a few years ago, I think it was like 2-3 years ago, there was an article in Brazil, 11 million flat earthers. Is that a small percentage? That's just in Brazil alone, and that was 3 years ago.
That's a fair amount, man. That's crazy.
And there's how much people today, you can talk to normal people, and a lot of them say, yeah, I'm a flat earther. Just because they're not on social media doesn't mean they're not flat earthers, mate.
No, of course. It's surprising how many people you do meet that are.
Numbers. According to a 2018 poll run by the massive market research firm YouGov, the 8,215 responses, which were chosen to have a high probability of accurately representing the wider adult populace, showed 84% of respondents said they have always believed the world is round. 5% stated, I always thought the world is round, but more recently I am skeptical/have doubts. 2% stated, I have always thought the world is flat, but more recently I am skeptical/have doubts. And 2% went with, I have always believed the world is flat. The remaining 7% stated other or not sure.
Wow, so they took a consensus on of 8,000 votes, I said, and that now...
I think it was 1,800 is what he said.
And that just somehow made it for everybody in the world?
Well, here's the important fact. 97% of all statistics are bullshit. Right? It's just like seriously, what are you doing, man? It's just, are you really citing polls? How did that work in 2016? Ask Hillary. Right? Polls are garbage, right? So
it's usually fake, and it's usually fake data put on there exactly.
In fact, that reminds me, we should check our poll, Flatzoid.
Yeah. But before we do that, Face Reality sent another $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Face Reality. Says, God is a flat earther. Opposition is irrelevant. I 100% concur with that. Thank you very much for your super chat, Face Reality. 56 votes, guys. Is flat earth a conspiracy? Hell no. Do you know what it means? 84%. And yes, because I'm ignorant, 16%. We've got quite a few ignorant people.
Okay, so 84% of all people are flat earthers. We just debunked this guy. You see? It was that simple. Such a load of crap.
That is such a good point. Exactly. Hey, into the break. Good to see you. But yeah, that's a good point.
Good people at YouGov certainly know their stuff with respect to getting accurate data that represents the wider populace. We were curious as to what a larger sample of our own audience would reveal, though with the caveat that a general internet poll can sometimes be notoriously inaccurate. But for the
you
curious...
don't say.
No shit, Sherlock.
For whatever it's worth, our poll asking more or less the same questions received over 72,000 votes. So, what were the results? Well, approximately here we go. 96% of respondents stated that they firmly believe the world is round. 1%.
And then we're going to say, okay, that 96%, are they mostly your subscribers?
They're literally his.
Yeah,
right? It's like FTFE doing the poll.
Exactly.
This is so much garbage.
It's bias. It's all just bias. I mean, I never even knew this guy existed to practically tonight.
No,
So I would be
makes-
part of the 1% that say it's flat then. It's like going to a channel, a sewing channel for instance, and they have a also a vote, a poll. Do you know how to sew? I don't sew, so I don't go on the channel. So therefore, the people that didn't vote, they know how to sew, is just idiots. It's the same. It's a non sequitur. It's got nothing to do. It's just a biased poll. He's having a rigged poll, in other words.
Yeah, it's complete garbage. There's no data here.
Yeah, it's like.
And then the,
Where's the other 1%? There's only 99% there.
those are the concave earthers. Those are the concave earthers.
You're actually correct. You're actually correct there. Check there. That's 99%.
It's a rounding error.
Hey Gary, good to see you. But I didn't even notice that. It's 90. But yeah, his whole ball is actually it's biased, so it's rigged. It's the same as, like you said, go on FTFE's channel. What do you think is going to be mostly voted for on his channel?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well,
maybe
and he's citing as official this YouGov poll. Well, you put gov in the name of anything, and guess what? I call BS. Like, I don't want anything to do with the gov. Thanks. No data here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm good tight. Yeah, it is easy to get me and Rachel mixed up.
Round is not spherical, exactly, Rennick, because round can firmly believe flat, by the way. When you say circle, it's a two-dimensional shape.
Went with, I used to firmly believe the world is round, but now have doubts. 1% voted for, I firmly believe the world is flat. 0% stated, I used to firmly believe the world is flat, but now I have doubts. 1% noted, I am not sure what I believe on this issue. These numbers seem surprisingly reasonable for an online poll when comparing to something a little more rigorously implemented like the YouGov poll. While our numbers skew more towards round.
Why is he showing this, by the way? I mean, this is...
Yeah, what's with the Illuminati eye and the old pyramid and that. And the old.
He's trying to say we're conspiracy nutters. That's what. And then I'm gonna play it again. When you see someone wear a tinfoil hat, who are the people wearing tinfoil hats, guys?
Exactly. It's them.
Glow believers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Earthers, this is perhaps to be expected given we know definitively that our audience skews towards being much more educated than the general populace.
You see?
You're just a bunch of empty-headed sailors. That's all he's telling you. You're just a bunch of idiots. It's
gullible followers.
What a terrible human being this man is.
Oh, wow. And he's so proud of it as well.
Good for you guys. And just because we were curious about the many, many online trolls who, as stated, it's our pet hypothesis, are actually making it seem...
By the way, guys, I did tag him in this, and if you will, please go on his video link in the description and tell him Flatzoid is reviewing this, and I would love it if he would want to come and talk sometime. Then we would see who's the educated one. Because that's the one thing about these guys. Always, we are so educated. The rest of you pansies are just dumb idiots. Okay, please come talk to us.
Yeah, the man who cites Aristophanes, Wells versus Sticks and Shadows, and cites a Dante poem as proof for the globe. Yeah, he's the educated one.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then he forgets about educated people that cited flat after he said there were none. Very educated.
Seem like there are a lot more flat earthers than there actually are, we did a follow-up poll which got 54,000 votes. For whatever it's worth, in this one, approximately 9% of respondents stated, I believe the world is round, but sometimes say online it's flat. 2% stated, I believe the world is flat, and advocate this position online. The remaining 89% stated, neither applies to me. And yes, we know these numbers don't add up to exactly 100% in either case, but YouTube's polling system rounds to the nearest whole number, so well, here we are.
So in other words, it's just a mute argument. Well then. Was that American accent? Now, how do you do American accent? I think you get different type of American accents there.
Yeah, it's like this. Just do it like this. This is how you do it.
It's like this. This is how you do it. It always sounds like something out of a movie.
Come on, PJ. Try again. Try again.
Well, I love when the American actors try and do a South African accent. I love when the American actors try and do a South African accent. They're like you know, we speak like this, you know, and we.
I can only do this one.
We eat braai chops.
I can only do this one. It's South Africa. That's as best as I can do.
But you see, we eat the braai chops and we go and we drink a beers. That is how we talk in South Africa, you know. That's how the Americans sound when they try and speak South African. It's like, you're making us sound like we're some stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always the same.
Okay, so with those numbers out of the way, this finally brings us to who started the relatively modern flat Earth movement and how on God's oblate spheroid Earth this movement is actually growing in an era where nearly all human knowledge is almost literally at everyone's.
And that statement just debunked two of his previous arguments he just made for the sphere Earth. This is how clever this guy is. Argument one that he just debunked. The thing is, there are no really flat earthers. It's not growing because there's such a small amount, which he just said is opposite of what you just said. The other was,
himself,
the other one was there's no educated people past the time when people believed it to be flat to actually say it's flat, which he's now going to cite someone. Well, shout out, mate. Hey, Woody, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. And Mark G. and Kevlar. Hello.
Well, and back to, if we take it a step further, and this might be pedantic, but he cites Aristophanes as using the wells to measure the radius of a sphere Earth. He mentions Dante as citing a globe, and then he states it's an oblate spheroid. So which is it? Right? So is that what they measured? Did the poem talk about an oblate spheroid? No. Right? So which is it? Pick one.
Yeah, they can't actually choose. That's correct. I mean, that's why when they have their geoid, I laugh at them and say, okay, you're still trying to cite level. What's a geoid? It doesn't have the same center. It's like, what? But you want to claim level, the same center, same level to the center of the Earth. It's like, what?
Fingertips. The genesis of the modern Flat Earth Society started in the mid-19th century thanks...
Flat Earth Society, there we go. Modern Flat Earth Society. So what did we say before we started? We hope he's not going to strawman us. What do you think he's doing? Let's see. What do they believe? What's he got here? A flying pancake in space? So, well done, mates. That's not flat Earth. Sea Lightning, hello. So he's already showing his ignorance, guys. Again.
To one Samuel Robotham of London, England. Dropping out of school at the tender age of 9, Robotham would eventually become convinced, or at least claimed he was, that not only was the Earth flat, but that everything we see in the heavens is actually only a few thousand miles from the Earth, stars and all.
One thing, was Robotham part of the Flat Earth Society, guys?
I imagine not.
Because I don't think he ever associated with the Flat Earth Society. He didn't say anything about it accelerating Earth either.
Yeah.
So, this guy is totally screwing up his information. I don't know where he gets his information from, but if you have people doing this for you, writing a script, you might need to get new script writers, mate. Because the information is totally wrong. And you'll be surprised how much of these people actually have people writing scripts for them. Colin Occupants, he says, where is the real flat earth map so we don't strawman you? First of all, this isn't a map. All maps are flat, okay?
Yeah. We've
been through this before. And I don't need to replace anything for you because you want me to. If I'm not a cartographer, so I don't have to create any map, do I? I do know when I do use a map on a local scale, it works perfectly, and it doesn't have any sphere or curve placed into it. It simply takes me from A to B based on a grid system, and that grid system is based on planar measurements. Hey Neil, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming.
His ideas were absurd for an incredible number of reasons, even given the technology and scientific knowledge of his era. What Robotham had going for him was that he was reportedly incredibly quick on his feet in debates and an extremely charismatic speaker, able to twist the words of even the best academics. It didn't actually matter if he was right or not, only that he was better at convincing lay people than the academics he regularly debated, or at least good at creating reasonable doubt.
So again, contradicting your own statement of before, everybody that's flat earther is idiotic and uneducated. If he was doing that, if he was uneducated, how was he able to twist words, as you say, of even the most educated debaters he came across? I mean, let's take for instance if Sean Hawkins had to come and debate me. I can guarantee you the guy would not have anything. He would not be able, because he's a moron. Now, if it had to be someone that's more educated, maybe they'd have a chance to twist my words. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're saying Robotham was as dumb as Sean Hawkins and he's able to twist someone's words, then it makes him educated, and your claim was no flat earther is educated.
As noted by a contemporary article published in the Leeds Times, one thing he did demonstrate was that scientific dabblers unused to platform advocacy are unable to cope with a man, a charlatan, if you will, but clever and thoroughly up in his theory, thoroughly alive to the weakness of his opponents. As well as making a small fortune from public speaking, he also wrote various works, including a book aptly titled Earth, Not a Globe. Robotham ultimately created the Zetetic Society, which, besides advocating for a flat Earth, also advocated that only facts that one could prove true themselves could be accepted as true. On the side, Robotham made a bit of extra money by going as Dr. Samuel Burley and making money by selling cure-alls and life extenders of his own invention.
Wow, okay. What's that got to do with anything you're trying to show? Is this supposed to be the biography of Robotham, or trying to explain what the flat Earth's about? Or did I miss that part? Hey, Sovereign. Sol, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming.
While by the early 20th century, the society started had gradually faded into even more obscurity than it already was at its peak during Robotham's lifetime, all was not lost. The truth, it cannot be killed so easily, apparently. In 1956, when mankind was on the verge of putting a satellite in orbit, Samuel Shenton of Dover in the UK came across the former works of the Universal Zetetic Society, the successor to Robotham's, and he was hooked. He then established the International Flat Earth Research Society, or IFERS. This adopted some of the ideas.
That's Flat Earth Society. No, and it was not hinged off Robotham. Yeah? You want to say something?
Wasn't me.
Oh, thought someone wanted to say something. You guys are allowed to talk, by the way.
Ideas
yeah,
of
he's
the
literally. Sorry, he's literally reading from the wiki article on Samuel Robotham. Like, there's no research, there's no intelligence here, there's no critical method. He's just parroting a wiki article, and this entire video has been just full of garbage, nonsense. Provably so.
I mean, that's not research. Like he says, that's not research if you're just parroting a wiki, because anybody can put anything in there as long as they've got an account. You know what I mean? So who's saying that any of that information is how accurate it is? You know?
Well, that's one of the problems too when you get into researching this. If you go and look up different websites on, let's say, refraction and whatnot, you're gonna find out that they're all simply cutting and pasting the same source. So there's no original primary source.
Andrew Thomas Young. They love Andrew Thomas Young, and then the thing is, the more people that's going to be just pasting the same source, then the more people are going to just agree with the same narrative, because that's posted from the same source. Does it make that same source correct? No, it doesn't.
Society before it, most notably, as you might have guessed from their new name, that the Earth was flat. Of course, this timing wasn't exactly ideal given the launch of Sputnik in 1957, which, beyond being in orbit, put out a signal that anyone with a little know-how could track, very clearly demonstrating the spherical nature of the Earth. This didn't faze him in the slightest, however. He simply noted that satellites circled over the disk of the world, and that would sailing round the Isle of Wight prove that it was spherical. It is just the same for those satellites.
Yeah, exactly. Things can circumnavigate. Doesn't make it a sphere. I can circumnavigate my house. Does that make it a sphere now? No.
Well, you know what's interesting too is that I've had great one-on-one conversations when I'm set up on the Chesapeake Bay, and people come by because I've got my cameras set up. Hey, what are you doing? And I had this one guy that came by and was a photographer, and we were talking. And the flat Earth came up. I was explaining what I was doing, and he brought up circumnavigation. So then I just got down on the beach and showed him. I put a point in the middle, and then put different rocks around to show the different continents. And I was just like, look, we can just go around the surface of the ground in a circle. That's called circumnavigation. And he was just like looking at me, going, "Oh, I mean, that I understand what you're saying. That makes sense." But that's all we can do. We can only just plant those seeds and let them think about it, for months afterwards.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
In the face, you can watch their eyeballs glitch and they do a little glitch.
No, they do. They look at you and they look at you and like,
They almost look like they're having some short circuit.
Yeah, that's when the cognitive dissonance kicks in.
When pictures of the Earth were taken...
Mr. Tummy, you can measure curvature yourself. Step-by-step guide. YouTube, measuring Earth's curvature with basic gear. No flat Earth. It's calculation, not measure, Tummy. Learn the difference. And we've seen it. A guy driving on a bicycle, remember?
From space, clearly showing the planet's spherical nature, the man who strongly advocated trusting what you can see with your own eyes stated, "It's easy to see how a photograph like that could fool the untrained eye." When astronauts came back still believing the Earth wasn't flat, he went with the catch-all explanation for any conspiracy.
Sorry, where did the astronauts go again? I'm sure...
To a second law of thermodynamics violation?
Yeah, has anybody in history been able to overcome the law of entropy yet?
Not me. I mean, I had my 47th yesterday. I'm not getting any younger.
I mean, you can call on Captain Universe. Does that make him real? No. It's very simple. They're still claiming their gravity can overcome entropy. That's what they're claiming. And when we ask them to demonstrate it, they can't. And when they say, fine, let me show you gas pressure out of a container, they show us containment. So yeah. Just it's literally like working with an insane asylum of people. It's like you're trying to talk to them as sanely as you can, but they just can't get it. They're like zombies.
Conspiracy theory when no other suitable explanation can be thought up. He stated, "It's a deception of the public and it isn't right."
It is. It is a deception of the public, so I don't know what he's trying to claim is wrong there.
Despite the giant, roughly spherical mound of evidence staring the members right in the face, including the variety easily confirmed by anyone with a modicum of knowledge in physics, the society did not die completely, though by 1972 had dropped from a peak of about 3,000 members down to around 100 spanning the globe.
Okay, tell us, why does the distance of your sun keep changing throughout history? If it's a fact. Why is there no scientific hypothesis and experiment for gravity if it's a scientific fact? Why is it that gravity has now become a fourth dimensional construct, mathematical construct, that you cannot even observe, but it's supposed to be fact? Why is it that people don't know what gravity is, but yet claim gravity does things? You understand? This just doesn't make sense. Everything is based off of having faith, belief. Everybody here, I can guarantee, has never been able to experience Earth rotation.
Never.
Nobody. Yet, what does the globe believe? We have Earth rotation. We require gravity to hold us to the ground, or we will fly off the ground. That is what you believe. That doesn't make it fact. It just means you've been indoctrinated to believe that. Every single one of us in the panel here were globe believers and believed the same nonsense.
Yep.
I'm actually lost for words.
That same year, Shenton died, and Californian Charles Johnson more or less took over the remnants, creating the International Flat Earth Research Society of America. Johnson also advocated that there was a global conspiracy with regards to the very flat Earth, not just today, but spanning millennia. To quote him, this was a conspiracy that Moses, Columbus, and FDR all fought.
Moses? What? Moses fought it? That's the first time I've ever heard that, by the way. Moses, a conspiracy theorist, guys.
Wow.
Oh. Insanity. Unfortunately, I'm just going to finish. He's just going to finish this point, and then we're going to have to give closing statements and stuff. Wow. And then probably we can do part 2 of this tomorrow night.
Yeah.
At least this guy's actually bringing something that's fun to laugh at.
Well, yeah.
Tony Whitcomb, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. Really appreciate it, mate. He says all Globers should be addressed as Mr. Tumnus, as that's where they reside in Narnia. Yep, they do reside in Narnia. Thank you very much for the super chat, Tony Whitcomb. Really appreciate it.
Against. Beyond that, Columbus most definitely thought the Earth was spherical, simply misjudging its circumference. And we're guessing Moses didn't have to fight anyone on this one, as the ancient Egyptians firmly believed in the concept of a flat Earth, as did seemingly the Hebrews around the time he.
So that makes him a conspiracy theorist, Moses.
Wow. What?
Okay, guys, we'll carry on with this video tomorrow, unfortunately, because I'm going to have to end in 10 minutes. So then we've got halfway, then we can carry on tomorrow. So we're on the 12-minute mark exactly. Cool.
Wow.
So what do you guys have to say?
He's talking from ignorance, isn't he? I mean, I can't remember who said it earlier. So he's getting most things out of Wiki. So nothing's reliable. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't researched anything at all. He might make it look good and all that, and he's got a nice background and everything like that. But there's nothing there of empiricalness, is there? You know what I mean? It's dead. It's dead. The globe's dead, guys.
I 100% concur.
It just won't RIP. That's it. It's dead. They know it. They just want RIP.
Yeah. So all the Globers in chat, like Mr. Tummy. So have you managed to give us why the phenomena happened today that 99% of all civilizations were able to see the sun at the same time?
Fraction.
Sorry?
Refraction.
Refraction.
It was gravity and refraction, wasn't it?
So yeah, we seem to have a lot of impossible things on a globe happening.
It was grifaction.
I mean, you would think the word impossible would kind of be a red flag for these people.
Oh, well, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jeff Gass said, let's put it this way. Since the Egyptians knew how to build the pyramids, and today we're struggling to know how we would even do it today, wouldn't that make them more intelligent than us today?
What they did is they used a giant bucket, filled it full of sand, and then turned it upside down and tapped it on the top. That's why it's got a flat top.
Yeah. Flat top.
I mean, those pyramids were built with precision that nobody today would even figure out how to really do it.
No,
which is really odd.
Some of the crevices like where they join is you can't fit a sheet of paper through it. I mean, the thickness of it and that is so perfect apparently.
And yet they were just dumb flat earthers.
Yeah, right. We're simpletons. Live a simple life with simple brains. They're simple if they think that.
So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. I'm glad I found this guy on the interballs.
Interweb.
How old is this video, Flatzoid? Because they're quite old arguments, aren't they? So
I don't know.
Is it an old video?
I didn't actually check. Let me go check. I still got it open. 4 years ago. Yeah, it's quite old. 4 years. But I mean, even for 4 years, it's quite old.
Black Swan 2020.
Just before. Ooh, time is broken according to the new time. This new theory. There's a new theory for time, guys. Oh no. Why is all the things that are cited as fact keep changing? I don't know.
It's because of the James Webb Telescope. That's why. That's what they're using it to change paradigms.
But you understand what I'm saying? Wouldn't it just say, listen, yeah, maybe because everything keeps changing, what we know is because we weren't right in the first instance? This is like the guards of the gaps argument. They keep changing what doesn't fit with them. So if they see, okay, this is what we believe, then we find something else that apparently doesn't fit what we believe, so we have to make up some other bullshit magic to try and make it fit our narrative. That's practically what the globe is built on.
If it doesn't fit the model, change the model.
Yep. They just add something else to it.
Hey, just real quick. Just real quick, I just posted my link again. If you go to the description, you'll see a link to my Google Drive where I put my article in, where I write out a couple of my claims on refraction and put it up on academia. And I had a PhD read it, but I haven't had a response just yet. So looking forward to, when my claims are able to be taken in consideration by some people who can give it some proper peer review.
Definitely. Raising Arizons, we've got the family here. Is that a... Oh no, this is what's it? Peer review, Patreon, PayPal, BitChute.
Oh, are you looking for it right now?
Yeah.
I guess I could just put that link in.
Correspondence, rethinkcurve@gmail.com.
No, it'll say article.
Theories. There. Rethinking refraction paper, new theories. Docs. There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll definitely go look through it.
Thanks.
Access denied. No.
Oh, you know what? That's so stupid. I have to
accept
remember. Yeah. I gotta remember to make it.
It's me.
Yeah.
Let me
in. I'll go check it right
now. It's me. Let me in. There we go. Request sent. So yeah. But I just gotta say thanks for coming, guys. Really appreciate it. It was an awesome show. Sorry it had to be so short again because I'm running on the generator, which sucks. I think tomorrow night we're not going to have load shedding, so that might help a bit. Really looking forward to that.
What was that about tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, part 2 of this guy.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do part 2. Hopefully he'll actually bring some information that is accurate.
Well,
well, he's failed so far, so that's just
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to say thanks guys for coming. Really appreciate you all being here. Thank you for all the super chats. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you if you hit the likes. Share the show. You guys are awesome. So I'll see you all tomorrow night, same time, same place. Many, many blessings, and may the pressure be with you. Cheers.